So Glen Campbell is a bit of a personal hero for me. In no small part because he managed to deal so well with his Alzheimer's until fairly recently, and managed to keep performing even though he had a very hard time remembering the names of his children and exactly who was playing which instrument. He has a fantastic voice and is an incredible guitarist and had a career that spanned across both country and rock and adult contemporary. This song, the Wichita Lineman, is probably his greatest hit, and not his biggest hit in terms of record sales, but just probably one of the best songs he put out. The version that I'm using comes from an orchestral version that he presented somewhere in the 1980s. I actually saw him perform this song with the Lawton Philharmonic Orchestra in Lawton, Oklahoma, many years ago. So this is Glen Campbell, Wichita Lineman, and I will have a guitar lesson following this presentation of the song. I am a lineman for the county, and I travel the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wires, I can hear you in the wine. Wichita Lineman, still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that stretch down south won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. The Wichita Lineman, still on the line. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita Lineman is still on the line, still on the line. And I'm doing fine. This guitar is my 1976 Breadwinner Ovation Breadwinner Deacon, which is an antique and was not functional at all. And a friend of mine managed to get it into operating condition. It has some really unique sounds to it. We're going to talk about how to play Wichita Lineman, and particularly with reference to the leads. There's a lot of people on YouTube who can show you the chords, but I'm going to go ahead and run you through the entire song. So the beginning riff of the song is just is this little riff into a couple of major 7 chords. So the riff starts on the 3rd fret of the G string, goes down to the 2nd fret of the G string, 3rd fret of the D string, and then the open D string. Just slow that down. And then it's an F major 7, then a B flat major 7. Now you may not know how to make a B flat major 7. You probably know how to make an F major 7. To make a B flat major 7, think of the B flat major, but you're going to want to play, instead of the 3rd fret on the G string, you want to play the 2nd fret. So you'll have to figure out a way to play the 3rd fret on the D and B strings, and the 2nd fret on the G string, and of course bar the rest of the strings at the 1st fret. And that's your B flat major 7. I'm a lineman for the county. That's an F major 7. And that's a G minor 7. So, and you can do it this way. I'm just playing these 4 strings, the D through the E, and barring them at the 3rd fret. And I travel the main road back to the F major 7. And then there's this nice little chord pattern here where it kind of shifts into another mode. String in the sun for another overload. So that's D minor, A minor, G major to D. That nice little riff there at the bottom of the D major. So that's taking the A string and hammering up to the 2nd fret, and then playing the D string open, the 2nd fret of the A string, and then doing it again. Hammering from open position to the 2nd fret on the A string, ending up on the open D string. I hear you singing in the wires. It's actually a C chord, but you're adding the D to the C chord, so that's a major 2nd. And then I'm playing the G up here. I can hear you in the wine, and that's just a G chord. But then Glen Campbell does this little riff right here, which is on the 5th fret of the A string, hammers up to the 7th fret, plays the 5th fret of the D string, and then 7 and 5 on the A string. So I'll play that slow. And then that's how he introduces this nice little chord right here, which is a G minor. But it's an interesting variation of a G minor. So you play like a G major, and you just take your 1st finger that's normally sitting here on the 2nd fret of the A string, and you move it down to the 1st fret of the A string. You get a nice iteration of that G minor. The Wichita Lineman. There's a D. And then you got this nice little chord here, which is the 2nd fret of the G and B. The D and G strings, and the 3rd fret of the B and A strings. Still on the line. So let me show you that to you. Again, we're back to the B flat major 7. But he sits there and he hammers on the D that's the 3rd fret of the B string. And then he plays that C chord with the D added to it. So there's that little riff there that happens on the E string, open, 1st, open, and 1st on the B string. So I'll play that slowly for you. And then you get into another verse and chorus. Now I'm going to take you through the two leads, and then I'll show you the ending of the song. The first lead is the lead that Glen Campbell originally released the song with, and so you don't hear the second and much prettier and faster lead on the high end on the original release. So here's the original lead. So I'm not going to belabor that. You can figure that out quite easily. So I'll just play it very, very slowly so you can pick it up. That's the 3rd fret of the A string. Back to the 1st fret of the E string. Before a couple of times now. And now I'm going to show you the second riff. This is one that Glen Campbell did with an orchestra in the 80s. Okay, so let me get into that. So it's going to start with, and think about an E minor chord up here the entire time that you're doing this lead, and that'll make the lead make a whole lot more sense. Start with the 8th fret of the B string and bend it up. Come down to the 7th fret of the B string, 7th fret of the G string up to the 9th fret. And then we've got this nice quick little run that sounds really difficult, but really isn't. So you're on the E string, play the 7 and then 8. Then on the A string, 7 and 10. Then you're just going to play an E minor chord. You're just going to arpeggiate it straight up. So that's the 9th fret of the D and G strings, 7th fret of the 8th fret of the B string, and the 7th fret of the E string. Just play them one at a time. And then end up on the 12th fret of the E string. Okay, let me show you that quick little riff there. So what it's going to do a turn starting on the 8th fret of the E string up to 10 and back, and then that's 7, 8, 10, and it'll just work its way back down this way, so that it'll go 7, 8, 10, 7, 8 on the E, 10 on the B, 7 on the E, 8, and then 10 on the B. And then it'll go 7, 8, 10, 7, 8 on the B string, and end up on the 7th fret of the G string. So let me play that very slowly. Double hit this 7th fret on the G string. Bend that 8th fret of the B string and back down to the 7th fret, and then to the 7th and then 9th fret of the G string. And then you got a hammer on from 7 to 9 on the D string, and then you're gonna rock back and forth between 7 on the G string and 9 on the D string. So let me play that very slowly. Okay, now we're going to hammer up from 7 to 10 on the, from 7 to 9 on the G string. 8, 7 on the B string, 7 on the G. And then 10 on the E, take the 13th fret on the B string and bend it up to the same note. And then this is 12, 13 on the E string, and back to 12. Then 13 on the B string, and then again 10 on the E string. And then bend this up again, and that's the last note of that lead. So I'm going to play the whole lead very slowly now, this the second lead of the song. And then you're back into the chorus of the song. The only thing left of the song is that last 4 chords there. And in the version that I heard, that I was working from, he'll go, still on the line, and I'm doing fine. So that's a B flat major 7, A minor, G minor 7, D minor 7, and then to the D major. And that should give you all the materials you need to build a nice version of Wichita Lineman by Glen Campbell. It's a great song for any audience. It's moderate tempo. It lets you shine a little bit on the voice, lets you shine a little bit on the guitar, but without being, such a hard pressing song that it's inappropriate for rather calm venues and adult venues. So it's a very useful song to have in your repertoire. Again, my name is Robert Bruce Scott, and I hope you'll come and visit me at www.robertbrucescott.com.